All right, I'm here with my man Terry Shanks from what I
What's
should
up,
say
brother?
is, yeah, let's start. Let me start from the beginning. I'm not used to doing this video shit yet, but all right. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the Big Truth Podcast, and I'm stoked to be here with my boy Terry Shanks, who's a brother and a friend for some years now, who is broadcasting live from the Fort Worth area of the Free Republic of Texas. What is happening, my brother?
Hey, hey, bro.
It's weird. This is only the second one with the video, so it's like it's still like I'm getting used to like being weirded out, like looking and seeing you.
I know, man. Yeah,
Is Waylon, before we get into anything today? Is Waylon going to make an appearance, or is he? Is he's
Waylon's outside in the shop, man.
Oh.
No, he's not today. Doesn't look like it, man. He's built like a few different compounds outside that he's really satisfied with lately. So I'm letting him do his thing out there. To be
Yeah, yeah.
honest, it's nice not to have to repair after him inside lately. So that's cool too.
So
uh,
for people who don't follow you or might not know, that Waylon is his adopted squirrel that just um it was an interesting hap how you even
yeah,
you and Waylon met up. But what, dude? Actually, what is it like having a pet squirrel in the house that is like pretty free range? Like, what do you mean? What do you got to repair? What kind of bullshit does he get into?
well, it's anything that he can get his head into, man. He can make a nest out of or something. For the most part, it's like I don't know if I adopted him or if he just kind of like pulled squatters' rights on me
Yeah,
in my house or whatever. Man, I moved him in, and yeah, it's squirrels chew on shit. There's not like holes all over my house, but there's little modifications he's made with his mouth, things like that. I'm trying to figure out how I want to repair that at some point. I think
he
I'm
was
just going.
he was living on top, like he was like he had his little spot up on top of like a hutch or something, right?
Yeah, this armoire. That's his
Yeah,
main, the top of fucking Castle Wayland
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
whatever. Yeah, he made the whole thing into like that. That's like his main compound, but he has like one of my old fucking helmets is a stash. There's another bag that like hangs by a window that's a fucking stash.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
anytime since he's been outside, I've like cleaned things up too, and I'm finding shit that I've lost like forever ago that he's hid from me, like needle files, little keys, buttons, pins, little
Yeah.
shiny shit.
Yeah, like so they're like raccoons or something that way where they covet little shiny things.
Yes, yeah. Waylon is. I don't know if all of them are, but mine does.
Yeah,
Fortunately or unfortunately, yeah. He won't. Yeah, but he's outside, so he won't. He's not fighting me for him, so that's cool.
yeah. So outside in the shop, or just like, or he's back out in the wild.
He's in the shop, man. He's got a spot up there, man. It was funny as fuck, man. We had a buddy Adam come in, and he needed like a fucking fork leg, and I was crawling up into my stash and shit up in the rafters of my shop, and sure enough, found a fucking 39 millimeter or whatever. I was pulling that down, and I found one of Waylon's new fucking spots or whatever. He came flying out of the out of the stash pile and shit, and about I'm sitting there fucking catch myself. My homies that were looking, I got myself like one hand dangling and shit because I was standing on a bar stool instead of a ladder, doing things safely. But yeah, almost ate a pile of shit. But yeah, he's up in the rafters and shit up in there, and he's made a couple little spots, and I see him go from there, and he'll come down and he'll fuck with the dog Murph. They do
Yeah,
this whole fucking ring around the rosy shit, and then he runs to a tree and bitches at Murph for a while. Murph loses interest at some point, and then Waylon runs around the trees, goes back to the shop, and does his thing in there. So he won't leave the property. He wouldn't leave the house for the longest time. I don't know what made him all of a sudden decide to, but that's what he's up to.
well, that's cool, man. That's cool. What and so for those of you who don't know, Terry's been on before. I'm like an idiot with this stuff. I don't know what episode it was, but it was at least a year or two ago, right? That you were on
Yeah, we were still dealing with
with
fucking all the
the
lockdown
weird
crap,
times,
and yeah,
the 3 years that don't exist in time and history anymore. Like
yeah,
those.
yeah. That happened, huh? That did
Yeah,
happen around.
yeah.
Yeah, around then. Yeah, that was 2-3 years ago, I guess. There's the first podcast I ever did. I know that.
This was cool.
Yeah, but I don't remember the number either, man.
No, I don't either. But
no
I will put it in the show notes. So if you haven't, in case you haven't listened to that one, I will put it in the show notes, and we will. You can go look that up, or maybe I'll re-release it or something. I don't know. We'll do something.
Right
but yeah. So what have you been up to, man? So for those that don't know, Terry is he rides with us, and been a rider for a long time, but is a internationally known manufacturer of nefarious items and personal protection equipment and everyday carry wares, right? Like
yes, yes, sir. Perfect. Yes, yeah.
And
a custodian of nefarious craft.
There you go. And his last name is not a handle. It's his legit name that just happens to be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. Yes, it was written in the stars, apparently. That I need to make.
So what's been going on? I know the for what do you actually, let me ask you like this, right? Because I know you've made, I don't know, how many knives do you think you've even made at this point? Do you have like any kind of idea, like number wise, like rough estimate?
Man, I was just talking with Dickie about that not that long ago, it seems, or we were talking about people that count, know, and man, I couldn't even give you
a rough estimate. Yeah,
I have no idea, man, because when I get into that mode to where I'm keeping track, or it's a mindset of like, it can work against me. Like I'll get buried in that shit. You know what I mean? With numbers, like I've made that many of that fucking thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the thing. My fucking, I suck at monotony, man. You know, repetition strengthens and confirms, and I'm aware of that, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, man. So just if I sit there and like knife number fucking 2055, and
but it's at least hundreds.
Right? Oh yeah. There's hundreds out there. I know I've hit that mark. I just don't know. I don't even know how I would go back and do a rough ballpark, man, because life has been just so fucking, in between, man. That I don't know. Like, how many choppers have you built? You know,
as you were saying that, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, man, I don't know the exact number of bikes that we've built. I could not even.
And let's take choppers out of it. Let's just
or even oil tanks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many oil tanks we've made. Like
right.
It's the same thing. Hundreds. Like, you know what I mean? Like over the years, I don't know. Like, right. I don't keep track either. But I know what you're saying, man. It's a weird thing to try. The only reason why I'm asking is because like you were doing knives for so long, and then like you started doing knuckles, and then those just like came out of the gate, and then you were like hammering those out. You know what I mean? And is it still like, is it an equal amount right now, or the knuckles still like going wild? Or
man, I'd say it's kind of evened out, man. It's whenever I do, I'm still catching up on orders, of course. But I do those weekly or every couple week drops at dickieknuckles.com. And there'll be like a couple knives and a couple knuckles of whatever I can swing in between,
between the custom orders,
right. And that stuff sells out on the quick, and so they, it's all like if that stuff hits the store, it don't make it more than a few hours, and that's long right now, and so everything's selling kind of equally.
It's like, on it. It's like exclusive drops, like that clothing company Supreme, like yo, he's gonna drop this shit. You better get on it. It's gonna be sold out.
We need to come up with an app or whatever. Wait for the drop. Well, it's always, man. It's never fast enough either. When that happens, Dickie will post that, and I'll be in the middle of doing something, and I won't even see it. He'll be like, "I'm adding these to the site." By the time I see that he shared it and I shared it, I share it. The stuff's sold out. Which is cool. Don't get me wrong.
No, that's super cool, man. That means that people are just waiting. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird because you'll have people that'll be waiting for those drops rather than just put in an order with you, right? Like, and it's just like they'll wait longer for one to be available if they're not right on it than if they just put in an order with you.
Exactly, and that's where I'm trying with that whole thing, is to where it's like, look, if you just want a solid knife or a knuckle that doesn't have a bunch of personalized, stuff that you want, that's your best option. Is to watch. If you watch that, as soon as, because we give a pretty good heads up, or Dickie does for sure.
Okay.
But that's
like a day or two, like, hey,
yeah, that's the best for immediate purchase. But I still get people that like, I missed the drop, and can I place an order with you, is one of the things that keeps coming up. And if it's something that's like a Shanks finger knife or a knuckle, that I've got a pretty steady process to, a shape, then I'll consider it here and there. But my books aren't open yet. There's stuff I'm trying to get done still, but I still got to keep a roof on and bills paid and all that.
Yeah.
Figuring it out as I go, man.
Yeah. So right now books are closed totally for custom orders, or is it just, or if it's like, or just for things that people could get from a drop?
Right. For the most part. I mean, they're closed for custom orders unless you absolutely understand patience. If you want to order like a big buoy done to the nines and all of that and stuff, I'm open to talk about that, but we're not talking about completion till down the road, down the lines, and if it's something to where you're even like remotely deadlining, I'm not, I'm not in the position to do it, and I'm, we learn from our mistakes, hopefully.
Sure.
And where I've been buried in the past, I'm just trying to do things a little differently this time around, and
you've been around long enough to kind of figure out the ebb and flow of things and know how much you can take on, and still like do some drops, but still be able to work on the customer orders. Like, so you have it a little more dialed in, like how much work to actually take, or word it to people. Because I find the biggest problem is, even on my website, like if people want something like an oil tank, but they want something that's like a custom one, or they want something with like a polish finish or like a powder coat finish, that's where it leaves like my hands. Like I have no control over, because we don't do the polishing or the powder coat here.
Right.
We build the tank, you know what I mean? But and I'll put on there like, hey, leave a couple of weeks, like, it might be a couple of weeks if you want this. And then someone will order on Monday, and we got Amazon fucking culture. And on Tuesday, they're like, hey, I noticed the tank hasn't shipped yet. And I'm like, bro, like, we're just making right now. Like, and then it's go to the powder coater. So you ain't seen it for a couple of weeks, dude, as it says right there, but people only, they want to, it just seems like there's an appreciation for custom stuff. Like there's like a weird thing. People appreciate custom stuff, but there's also that weird, like, Amazon, like, free 2-day delivery culture. Like, and they freak out if they don't have a tracking number in a fucking 4 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild.
It's the gratification generation, man.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, you had to send a money order in and wait 4 to 6 weeks for anything, right?
No, yeah. And that was the, I mean, I remember feeling like if I found a spot that had, I don't care if it was music parts, whatever the fuck we're into, if it was like 4 hours away, that was a fucking score, just because you could make that in a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A place where you could actually go. And now it's like, the instant gratification generation. We can all suffer from that shit, but never has it been so fucking anything I want at the reach of my fingertips and as quick as I can get it to me, and the problem is there's all this, there's plenty of knockoff shit now too that's all on that, and like people, I find that, it's harder to sift through the idea of, are they really into this, or are they just into the idea of it? as hokey as that sounds, what I mean? Are you in love with me or the idea of me? It sounds because it is fucking
And when you say knockoffs, you're saying people copying your exact designs, probably, right? Because I see shit like that. And then you see a lot of these, companies coming up that are like weird clothing companies that are also doing knives, and they'll have like 30 different knives for like $60. And I'm like, where are you? How and where are you doing these knives? Like, what is this made out of, man? Like, because I can't imagine, any mass produced thing, being anywhere near the craftsmanship and quality that something handmade is.
Yeah, and they're all made of Damascus and shit too. Like all these knives for 60 they're made out of like fucking fucking Pepsi cans and fucking whatever the fuck else.
Yeah, they squish a
both
couple
welded
Pepsi cans together and get a nice little fucking weird pattern and fucking.
Well, man, it's fitting the fucking like, dude. It's like this fucking. and the cool thing is, I'm talking to you and someone that's been making shit with their hands for a minute. But it's this. I call it prop culture, not pop culture, but prop culture.
Oh yeah.
You know? And the fucking thing where we come from, some form of sharp pointed whatever has always been kind of par for the EDC or is what they call it now, you know, but shit you had on you. And you know, and so style about shit where we come from hardcore punk rock, apply that to choppers, and then you apply all the dangly shit, you know, that hangs off you, your tools, you know, or your weapons or whatever, you know. And so it's like fucking it fits. You know, like a knife fits the bike, fits the person, all of that. And that stuff comes out. Like if I made, the truth, if you made fucking tea koozies, it would, you know what, where you come from will come out in it, you know? And the people that get that, I'm not saying there's wrong people, but there's people that are easier for us to deal with.
Sure, yeah. No, I get
it. And so in prop culture and all that stuff, you know, there's so many people that are on the prop side of it that just, you know, make a mass produced regurgitation of something real. And people would much rather just grab for that until someone of status now or somewhere goes, hey, that's really fucking lame what you have there, you know? And then the only thing that gets across to him at that point is, oh man, but that guy's cool and he said it. So there's a point to what I was trying to get to there, and I lost it as I was going. But
we were talking about people doing knockoffs of your knives in prop culture.
Well, there's only 4 holes in a piece of brass knuckles, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't invent the shit, you know. But if
you invented a certain style of it though, like I got the pair you made me right here. Let's see for the camera.
Fuck out, man.
I don't even know what the camera is like on this shit. Like this.
I keep having to come like over to get shit centered.
Look at that right there, right? But this is my favorite part, like how this is filed out, and it makes it so fucking comfortable. Like it's like it just fits like perfect. Like it. I hit so much.
Hell of a fucking mitt on you too. I remember that knuckles like fucking the size of getting. That's a big fucking duster.
Even right there, the Cro-Mags tribute right there.
Fuck, I forgot I put that on there.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know you were gonna do that. I was just like, oh, that's my favorite jam right there, Life of My Own. But I can tell you, I've hit a lot of inanimate things with this, and I've had knuckles before, and they've always ends up hurting you as much as everything else. And these things, man, pain-free, dude, pain-free.
Free, exactly. Yeah, those things make animate things inanimate.
Yes. In animation.
Those are
inanimators.
Inanimate tools.
Dude, that's what you gotta call a line of that. These are the sheets inanimators.
That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Call the collab knuckle models, dude.
Okay,
the inanimator. It's like reanimator, but
well, you're gonna have to wear a lab coat.
Dude, that's fucking it, dude. That's the fucking jam. There's always that little extra fucking pepper that needs to go on something.
There you go. That's why it's to get together on
the Shanks and animators. We could fucking put them in like VHS boxes, dude. Find the plastic ones with fucking.
Fuck yeah. We'll go to the flea market or something and find a bunch of blanks.
I'm saying fucking A, dude. Fuck yeah. Make a little fucking patch or a button that goes, there you go. I'd buy that, not just making that. If I would totally fucking buy that. That's fucking cool. There we go.
All right, we can't talk about this too much. Someone's gonna jump on. Hey, that shit's trademark, motherfuckers. If you listen, we're gonna go put
there are a couple
right after this before it is.
Man, I'm proud of myself, and I shouldn't do that too much, man. But there's a couple maker companies that I'm biting my tongue on that. But I'm acceptance is good.
It's good. You're gonna go like this. take a deep breath and put your fingers like that.
Well, they say like that. Now I was watching on fucking YouTube, man, down the rabbit hole. Now, I mean, this is all like they're pointing out like Illuminati, everyone that's ever said in an interview and done this now.
Yeah. Oh no, someone's gonna freeze frame that and be like, "Oh, Chopper Illuminati,
dude, we're in."
There it is, Chopper Illuminati.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, means you're a fucking pussy. Is what the fuck?
Oh yeah, you remember that thing? Like you go like that.
Oh fuck yeah! Now look in here.
Yeah.
I remember my first day as a fucking welder's helper, man. My bro Cruzo fucking came up with a tape measure and he had it down by his fucking crotch or whatever. And he lifted the tape up like, he's just wheeling it out like that. And it got like to my face. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, you're about 5'7" from being a cocksucker. Like, you fucking dickhead. It's fucking.
Oh shit! So what's been going on, man? So you still got your list for your catching up and doing all the custom orders. You got the drops with Dickie every now and then. Shout out to Dickie Knuckles. Was it DickieKnuckles.com, right?
Yep.
That's what people.
That is the store, man.
You got to get on there and hit subscribe or something so you can get on the list to find out when drops are coming because or he's on Instagram as Dickie Knuckles. Because you got a limited window to get up in there if you want something and you don't want to wait.
They're going quick, man. One of our last time deals he hit like on it because he's been kind of looking at it was like fucking 15 minutes,
Yeah.
And
how many pieces?
Like, I don't even like 2 knives and 3 knuckles.
Yeah.
Like the drops are never because I can't get more than 5 items done in a in a cup. I just as much as I'd love to be able
in the
to.
time frame. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So.
Hey man, craftsmanship takes time, and if you want craftsmanship, you wait for it, and then you cherish it even more when you get it. Because anything that you have, like, even just waiting, it's not like you're working, but you kind of like anything that takes time to make to get. You appreciate a lot more than the $40 fucking knockoff that you can buy on eBay and get it in fucking 3 hours, or Amazon and have it delivered the next morning from 4 to 8 a.m. or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, right. I'm gonna stare at it while I eat my cornflakes.
Yeah. Oh, it's 3 stops away. Yeah. Fucking. but yeah, you know what I mean. So I love that, and that was so inherent in the motorcycle world, more so maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago than it is now, but it's still there. And it's kind of like one of the last bastions of that. Cause there are a lot of craftsmen in the motorcycle or related world. Right. So like you're not making motorcycle parts, but you're making things that a lot of it's going to motorcycle riders, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of the audience for you. And I know you also are like just known and big in like the custom knife world, which is a whole different weird culture, right? Like and big and varied culture, like just like motorcycle is, right? Like we're in the chopper Illuminati, the small subset of the motorcycle world, the dark corner in the back, right? But
I like it though. That's the
no, but I mean, I'm sure the knife world is like that too, but even on a bigger scale because knives are way more. I don't know, for lack of a better word, like more people have knives than motorcycles, right? So it's like a more popular thing, right? So even in this world of demasculation, there's still plenty of people that need a knife, for whatever reason.
Absolutely, I don't even, dude. As far as the knife industry goes, like I don't know where I'm at as far as, a name in that world other than how that industry sided thing seems to receive me. I do. Me and Dickie we started setting up at a Texas Blade Show here. And, that's an industry show. And I've done the big one is in Atlanta every year. And I've only done that one once.
I remember you talking about that with me before. I don't know if that was on the podcast or if we were just us talking.
Yeah, I did Blade Show in Atlanta in 2018. And now I've done, I think, 3 other knife shows, that are actual industry shows. And I always sell stuff, and there's people that want to, talk. And it's so fucking big, though, man. It's like I don't. I'm not that fucking. I don't trust people, out of the gate, and I don't know. And you talk about something and how it irritates us. Once again, the prop culture, or the the fashion.
That's a good name for it too, man. The prop culture, because for a lot of people, the motorcycle is a fucking prop. It's not even like a
exactly. If I don't have the bike, I can't wear the pants if I don't have the bike. You know what I mean? And I'm the guy that I'd rather fucking wear cheap pants so I could build the bike. Apparently that's not the way it goes anymore, though. And I'm just trying not to sound like the same old fucking earn your way in and blah blah. But I feel that way. But just the
that is such
severe lack of black eyes, man.
It's you can talk about that as much as you want, because that isn't talked about enough in the world today. And we might, obviously, I don't think we might just be preaching to the masses on this, because I don't think the people listening to this podcast, like I've most of them are like in the same wavelength, but maybe we get out to some other people that don't know it as much. I just feel that's an important thing, man. Just earn your way in whatever world you're involved in, like, and people don't talk about it much. You just can't be a tourist or an Insta, like, fucking whatever, like, because you won't be long. Like, if it's something you're really into, man, do it right. Like, whether it's tattoo shit, there's so many, like, all the worlds we talk about that we're involved in, it's like tattoo shit. You used to do a fucking couple year apprenticeship. You were making needles and fucking cleaning bathrooms. And even mixing ink in some cases and stuff, but you learned every aspect of the trade. And guess what? If some shit goes off tomorrow, and like, we're not getting supplies from overseas anymore, like, motherfuckers that did that shit are going to be able to make needles and still do tattoos. People that are learning on these cartridge only machines are going to be fucked. You know what I mean? And that same thing with like motorcycle shit, like, like if you really learn the craft or really learn the culture around it and respect it, because you're going to appreciate it so much more than if you just fucking try and buy your way in,
Absolutely.
And so when you're talking about that, like, I'm glad you talk about it, because I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about more, and I'll hammer that to fucking death, because that's a hill I'm willing to die on, dude. My last day, you know what I mean? Fucking.
Well, what fucking hill is worth dying on, man? If it isn't one that fucking it has substance underneath it, like, that's the. You know
what? The other thing I just want to say to add on it, because I know you'll feel the same, and it ain't about isolating motherfuckers or kicking motherfuckers out. It's about just raising the bar and keeping everything fucking cool, like, you know what I mean, and preserving the integrity of these worlds. Because I got into hardcore and punk because it wasn't the fucking cool thing. You had to fucking really earn your way in. Like, it wasn't an easy world, you know what I mean, to get involved in, and like, but it was like a fucking beautiful world. And I got into motorcycles for the same thing, or tattoos for the same thing. It was like, it was outlaw fucking culture. Like, it was outside of the regular world, you know what I mean? And subcultures, and it was for a place for fucking misfits to fucking find their way, but you still had to earn your stripes and earn your way into it. And that made you appreciate it so much more. And that's why 30 years later, I'm still involved in all this shit, when easily I could be doing something way more less time consuming and way more lucrative with my time than this shit, you know what I mean? But I love it. I can't, it's like a bad habit. I can't shake it. Like, even if I wanted to, like, I tried a stint in the normal world that lasted a couple fucking years. That was it. You know what I mean? Like, and even then I was writing fucking papers and shit for my day job at the tattoo shop or over here at Chopperhead. You know what I mean? Like, papers that got published in journals, dude. It was funny as fuck. You know what I mean? But I was like, fuck it. This is my world. It's like, so I get weird and protective of that shit. And it's always good to talk to people like you. Even, it's good. We're friends, but it's, like, even if we weren't, it's like we're on the same wavelengths with that shit. And like dudes like Zach and everybody that we hang out with. And shout out to Zach from Heavy. You know what I mean? Because real dude. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well,
good times and everybody that we roll with.
I love it, man. I can't say enough good shit about the motherfucker. I love Zach. But as you were saying, man, up there, that was if we started punk rock and hardcore alone, it was fucking gnarly. It was scary. It was violent, and it had to be. And that was the best shit about it. That was the first time I realized, well, I don't give a fuck how gnarly this is. This is where I belong. You're not going to run me. I'm going to either take my beatings or learn to give them or do this or that or whatever I got to do, because I'm not missing out on this shit.
Yeah.
And that's where that started with skateboards, BMX bikes, hardcore. When you just knew, like, it's more than just a thing. Yeah, ultimately it's a thing, but it's the first fucking sense of belonging that ever made fucking sense to me. I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yeah,
You
and
know, so
anyone I've talked to on this podcast that's been involved in punk or hardcore or choppers or whatever, it's just a switch flips, and you're like, yeah, that's it. Like, I don't completely know what that is, but I know that's
where I'm going.
For me, that's for me. That's what I got to do. Exactly like you said.
And man, I can keep these fucking headphones in. And that same energy, man, that's how that was the first time I had a compass when I get into stuff that I knew if it was for me or not. It hit all those same, those same fucking spidey senses or whatever the hell shit did. And it's the same thing with choppers. When you see, all of that, when that shit happens, it's, oh shit, there's that fucking feeling. And then you go around it, and we're fortunate enough to go around it when it was like, oh fuck, this is some gnarly shit. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like the stuff that influences like the stuff I make. And I know you'll get this for sure though, but it's not even about like super nice, like well-made stuff, well-made fucking choppers, motorcycles, knives, whatever. You can't fake give a fuck, so on that, but there's a weird and a rawness to it, man, that's there that still grabs my eye. It only comes from certain bikes and certain things. And I think like, I remember when I came around motorcycles, there was never me half stepping in anything. When I decided it's for me, I'm going to get over into the grittiest shit I can find. You know what I mean? Yep. So I went over around these old fucking outlaw motherfuckers, and I wanted to, these are the guys that made it. So you start with the fucking dudes that, started shit as far as my lineage can get to the closest of that. Yeah, the proximity I can get, if that makes sense. And, the knives these guys had and their bikes were very different from shit that I had seen just around town, man. You know what I mean? Like the modifications to their bikes and their fucking kit. Their tools and shit. I remember seeing like one of the neatest knives I saw in my life. That was like, what the fuck was that? I didn't even catch it till it was coming out of a baggie, like straight the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, what was that fucking knife? And then he goes like, oh, that's blah, 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 blah's knife. You know what I mean? He's had that from so-and-so for so long. I think maybe he'll talk to you about it. You know what I mean? You go over there and look at that. And it's not like it was a real handmade something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this thing had fucking energy over it, you know what I mean? And style and fucking, it was something that just, you're not going to find that. Like, oh, my homie put that weird brass thing on it here. And we modified that. So you get 2 scoops or fucking, know what I mean?
No, but there's certain things, there's like a bike or a knife or something you look at, or even a tattoo, and you're like, that shit has a story. That has a story behind it.
Right.
And it's like an heirloom. It makes it way more interesting, like, than.
Well, there's little shit on certain bikes, like, oh, fuck, and now you see it everywhere. But, like around that time, we go, what the fuck is up with that shell casing that's encased in that? You know what I mean? You see like these little highlights, and then and it wasn't something that's like, oh, don't worry about that, Then you get to know dudes, and there's a whole story behind that fucking thing. Exactly. That those guys will never, this will never happen ever, with some of those kind of guys, and it shouldn't. Another thing we've talked about, where there's stuff that's like, you need to go out there and learn it the fucking right way. Cause I think this shit, like, I'll say it, dude, because some people would say my opinion's valid, but I think MC protocol YouTube videos.
Oh, dude, I was just gonna address that when you were saying
if you're the kind of person, I think I'm gonna go get into, for whatever reason I decided, get into, I want one of them 3-piece bad motherfuckers on my back. I'm gonna go get one. I've been watching. I'm not gonna name the fucking names, dude. But one of them rhymes with
most
toast. But fucking anyway, man.
But as a funny aside, I hate it so much. But it'll come up on my feed, and I have to at least watch 2 minutes. I'm like drawn to it like a fly, like a mosquito to a fucking bug light. I'm like, how fucking retarded is this one gonna be? watch it for a minute, and then I get so mad at myself. I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I shut it off. But I get roped into it like every time.
Well, the shitty, and that's the thing that he's saying. If you see this stuff, like, so it's like I've always watched my mouth about any of that shit.
Yeah,
because it was literally ingrained in my head.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you did it, yeah.
So now that it's all out there, and or fucking whatever, it's just like, it's like the simple shit. Okay, like around here, and stuff varies. But if you're gonna go up to a fucking club member around here of the upper rank of club, the fucking shit. Now everyone does.
Yeah, the top tier club, the big four,
the dominant, or whoever.
Yeah.
You go to do your thing. Here's the fucking thing, man. There were simple things that were little, like take your shades off when you meet that person, or take your glove off before you shake their hand. Okay. Yeah. Now, when you'd hear that around here in the day, fucking, you're like, what's the big fucking deal? You know what I mean? Like the glove, isn't that a little extreme? Because you're about people getting their fucking I's dotted and fucking all that for not taking their glove off when they shook a 1%er's hand or this or that, and what that comes down to is these are little at the very least, are little things that are like, all right, if you just walked up to me all of a sudden and you got a glove on your hand, that means no one that knows shit around here that actually knows anything has told you shit. No one's enlightened you on that simple little thing. So which who the fuck are you?
Who you? Yeah. Who are you?
Right. So I don't know you. You obviously don't know shit about around here. So my time is not for you at all. But that was things like, okay. And if you went out there and you did that and some dude was like, fucking bam, and just lit you up, if that chased you off, you probably don't belong in that fucking world. Matter of fact, you don't fucking belong in that world. Now, if you go home and now you put on YouTube, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? Or fuck, and then you go back with that bullshit too. What the fuck is it anymore? Is my viewpoint, because every reason that attracted me to that in the first place seems to not be there now anyway.
But and the thing is, it goes back to a lot of the stuff we've talked about, me and you personally, or just like on the podcast. Like shit was a lot cooler when you had to seek it out and when it was more mysterious. Like, you know what I mean? like when everything wasn't like blown out there. You know what I mean? Because it was more mysterious and there was more going on back then than there is now. Like, you know what I mean? Shit got watered down, I think, everywhere, right? Like with everything.
Absolutely.
I'm not just talking about motorcycle stuff. I'm just talking about shit in general. You know what I mean? We're in a surveillance society now, dude. Like no one can get away with shit anymore, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
don't you feel so safe?
Yeah, I feel
so fucking safe. I'm just, everywhere I go, I'm like,
I feel like this year, all I'm going to do is I'm going to feel safer and safer. The year goes on. It's like I'm enveloped in a blanket of safety, dude. Like
I'm going to die of safety.
I'm going to die of safety.
How it's going to fucking
safety
happen.
Inhalation.
Exactly, man. And that word right there is one that I don't know. I guess it's just rung out. It seems like we hear that a lot more now. Is safe.
Yeah.
And nothing I'm into is safe.
Yeah.
Or never. Life isn't safe. There's no safe space. Unless you want to live in a bubble forever, and then you're still going to one day. This vessel goes away, you motherfuckers. This illusion of safety is like, dude, you're one step off a curb. You don't it's just the reality of things, and this illusion of fucking like security and the importance of my individual fucking body. That's like fucking like nothing worth doing that remotely makes me feel alive has ever had the word safe attached to it until now. I saw a chopper community safe space, keep this safe, or like that kind of vibe on things. And
I'm waiting to see safe spaces at fucking motorcycle events. I'm sure they're coming. Or I'm sure they're there at some of them.
Well, a tent where fucking someone will give you a hug when you get a little fucked up.
You can go have a little time and a little nap and a little fucking. They give you a little cotton and milk and a fucking.
Some guy hit me with the inanimator, and I need to fucking go.
I need a safe space to recoup.
There's the inanimator tent, and then there's the fucking safe space tent over here. You can go and get your baba and fucking.
Yeah.
So I'm serious though. Like when I hear that though, like there's a fucking like how you said, like you start looking at something and it becomes that train wreck fucking fixation thing. And I made the mistake of reading comments on kind of a popular bike post,
Yeah.
not that. And I just keep seeing this this stuff like all inclusive community and
Yeah.
all of this, it just seems like such horse shit, man.
It is.
But all right, but you
It's
guys are all
yeah, there's just a lot of pandering going on, and
what are you gonna do?
like I still follow the if you don't belong, don't belong. It's that
Yeah,
simple,
and it's pretty easy to tell if you don't.
and it's no foul if you don't. Like, hey, this ain't for you. Like, cool, keep it moving, bro. Like, find you. You know what I mean? Like,
right? There's a fucking
no animosity,
right? Exactly that, and that's
unless you're just here to rape the culture, like rape our shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then fuck you. Yeah, it's gonna get handled.
And that's the dude. And honestly, truth with my business now, where I'm trying to direct any of it, I'm not trying to grow this into, as you know, Shanks Enterprises.
You can't, because it's just you.
It's not
there's
exactly
only so much you can make, right? Like, there's only so much you can do.
So I've just doubled down on fucking like trying to incorporate into my work everything that built my work.
Yeah.
From where it comes from, our cultures that we call it now. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing. That's where my main focus is going now that my head's on a little straight, or a lot straighter than it was.
Yeah.
One of the last times we talked, for sure. But just really like, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm the only one making what I make from that world, and I'm not saying I'm the first one. But right now, I'm one of the ones or something.
Yeah, you've been doing it a long time, man. You've been in it for a long time. When did you first start making knives? It's a long time.
2010 would be right around there when So we're at like fucking something around there, man. Around 2010ish, around there. I know is where
Yeah,
and
man.
So,
yeah.
But yeah,
and you've like you said, like, I know you're not going to try and pat yourself in the back, but you've received a lot of acclaim and attention for it. I mean, you even had that fucking TV show filming with you. Like, you were sought out for that. Like,
that was a trip. Yeah.
Did that fuck up your world afterwards? Meaning like influx of new people that you couldn't more overwhelming and stuff.
I'd already fucked my world up pretty good myself, right? No, it was. I mean,
if it was like 15 years ago and that was Discovery Channel, it would have been fucking game over. Like, you would have had to you'd have been like, my books are closed. I can't talk to anyone for a fucking year.
Exactly, man. And where I've honestly, I've always been playing catch up with this to a point. So when this happened, when that whole deal went down, it was just kind of like, all right. I honestly didn't think that shit was ever going to see the light of day. And I'll tell you straight up, Jason Momoa, great dude, man. He's a real friend. I like, but he's off in a world that is definitely not my world. I don't know shit about but and the way out of my element. And so when that's going down, the whole time I'm like, man, this ain't gonna go. This ain't gonna fucking happen. And then. And then he shows up, and we do that, and this filming's going down, and then even after that, I'm like, even part of me is like, it's not gonna, it's stuff, and then sure enough, like, all right, I'm on television.
Yeah. What did that?
Holy shit!
It was on like HBO Max or something like that.
Yeah, HBO Max. I think that's a HBO Max combined app or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what was it called again?
The show, or
the show. What's it called?
On the
look it up. On the Roam with
Jason.
What episode was yours?
3.
3.
I think. Yeah, I think it was episode 3. Yeah, that was the one with all the knife makers and one jewelry maker on there too. Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, man. Like, because like, I know with that show, like, he reached out to a lot of people that are like friends or like in the circle of ours. So it's cool. Like, like he was reaching out to like grassroots, like real, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
I haven't seen it all, but from what I've seen, it's been a lot of good dudes on it, or good people.
Anyone that I can only speak for who I've met, on that show, and everyone I've met from that show has been nothing but cool. and a cool person for sure. But yeah, and as far as the others go, I imagine they're, you know, and definitely on the upper side of things as far as people go.
Yeah, man.
For sure. I'm probably the one carbuncle on that fucking thing. It's like, man, I don't...
Nah. Did you have to sign autographs after that shit came out? Next bike. I'm gonna the next bike show you're at. I'm gonna put up a little booth like I'm gonna take some 8x10s of you and be like Terry Shanks is on the roam.
I'll give you some old pictures of me you can do that with.
Yeah,
all fucked up, fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't had. It hasn't. I mean, I've gotten messages and things, and
I mean, has it gone to your head? Have you tripled the prices of your knives and stuff? Like, be honest.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's fucking. I mean, I was on
real
TV.
estate went the fuck up, right? That real estate went up.
Yeah, I was on TV. I won't even talk to you now for under. I mean,
I know they had a little bump after your first podcast appearance, but that TV show must have really fucking.
Oh yeah, no, it was the podcast completely. That TV show happened after that podcast.
Yeah, well, hey, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome.
Yeah, I pay attention, man. I pay attention to the moves and what happens afterwards, man. I keep tracking. You laugh about that, Truth, but you never know, man.
I know. I'm only laughing because I'm drunk as fuck. Because it's Sunday of Memorial Day, and I was at Packers earlier, and we were tying one on. And,
hell yeah, man! How's fucking?
Now I'm happy to be here talking to you. Right, like it's a good Sunday. It's a good Sunday in May.
It is a good Memorial Day weekend for sure, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, dude. Well, go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna ask you, got anything up on the lift or anything right now that's fucking happening, or anything you're stoked on, you're working on, or?
Well, it is spring in New England, so we're just doing a lot of
the general.
I mean, you can. I'm trying to look at see that white wall that's attached to a 41 that we've been piecing together for a guy.
Oh fuck, I got it.
It's a whole complete ground up build, like down. Like we had to put a new crank in, and the motor is all.
Oh fucking.
Everything's redone. We're chipping away at it, but right now it's not exciting build time. It's get people's bikes back on the road and fix all the burnt out electronics and fucking clogged up carburetors from the ethanol and all that shit. Get people spring readies and tune-ups and all that shit, fucking tires and whatnot. But that's what makes money. Like custom shits, that can't survive off that anymore unless you're building for celebrities, and that seems to have even died down because there's no cool shows on anymore. Except for On the Roam, right? But like that didn't give the industry a bump. I was hoping it was gonna, like, because like those discovery days are gone. You know what I mean? Like because people have there's too many choices now. Like, you know what I mean? But when there was only like a few cable channels, like shit got bigger.
I'm wondering. Well, that's the thing too. I'm wondering now.
And honestly, I'm not complaining. I'm 100%. I'm glad it's staying underground and it's like ferreting people out. Like, you know what I mean? But like, go ahead. Sorry, man. I didn't.
No. That's the thing that you were saying though. If you go to look at like, honestly, if I go to watch anything chopper related now, I watch old. And this isn't me kissing your ass. I watch like those old Chopperhead DVDs and like. Stuff around there, like the two-wheel terror stuff.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, because it's still, it's still punk rock and choppers, or like, like, and that, I'm not saying that's not here today, but like, there is just such a lack right now. And On the Roam, I'll straight up say that was the first cool thing around like, custom culture, choppers, knives, whatever, that's been out in
a while, right?
A minute, because I don't jive with the whole reality TV thing too much, like the competition shows and shit and all of that. But and a lot of
the content people are putting out are just like it was on YouTube, and it's like I don't go on YouTube like that much, you know what I mean? And I can't keep up with all that shit. I don't even know, like, it's overwhelming. There's a lot out. Whereas before, like you said, there was a few things like the two-wheel terrors, Chopper Town, all that shit. Shit like that.
No, and
I'm glad we came out with that when we did, because it was cool. Because those Chopperhead DVDs were filmed from 2003 to 2014, and then the Chopperhead TV, which is still on Tubi. There was one season of it. I have like 3/4 of a second season, just haven't had time to finish it.
No shit.
That came out like, I don't know, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years? Time is irrelevant to me. I don't know. It came out 2-3 years ago, something like, or maybe even before all the fucking craziness. Like, time's weird now, right? Like, because there's a few years that make things a little fucking bizarre to try and figure out time scales with. But but it's cool. All that stuff's there for historical. Like, I still get orders for the DVDs. I'm like, who the fuck is buying a fucking DVD in 2024? I'm like, what are you even playing that on? Like, you have a DVD? Right. It's crazy. Like, I only have like 2. I don't have all 4 episodes anymore. 4 volumes. I only have like 4 and 2 or something. But 2's a good one. That's the Japan one with a lot of fucking wildness in there.
How would that interview still cracks me up? You'll see I'm a master of interviewing.
I'm like, what?
Interrupts.
Yeah.
Jay interrupts again, and then fucking ends up fucking okay.
It's just like we're trying to do the closed captioning, and it's just like we're just doing it phonetically. Like fucking, we just trying to make it funny, dude. Because that was all based off when I was a kid. I used to love like skate videos, like Skate Visions, like Vision. You know what I mean? With like Agent Orange and shit on it.
It has that vibe all over all of it. That's what's
that's what
fucking
we
rad about those, man. It feels like I'm watching fucking a skate video.
That was
fucking like
100% what I bit. I bit skate videos. I was like, I'm gonna make a skate video, but it's gonna be like about choppers.
It's fucking dude. The fucking one of the ones, dude. Like, I have never gotten like legitimately irritated at a fucking like a skit in a fucking show before, but you motherfuckers with that fucking, dude. You knew it was the fucking. You knew that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Because I know that's the most annoying, because it annoys me, and that's why we did it. We're like, bro, I'm not kidding. Me, Christian, and Ryan, rest in peace. We listened to that test on literally for fucking hours while we were driving, and I was just filming every now and then, like, and showing the clock, like, 2 hours later, we're still listening to it.
That was the fucking thing. It was like maybe it wasn't that long ago, like maybe a month, and I was going back because there was a bike on one of those I was looking for. And it went to that, and I remember I always skip it because I was like, I've never, for the first time though, actually, like, how long did they do this? And I hit the fucking thing, and actually I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me, dude.
Yeah.
You did that for like an hour. Like,
more than, I mean, it might have been on the video for an hour, but we listened to it for like multiple hours, I believe, until we get out of that state, whatever.
Oh my God.
You know this dude road trip shit. You go, things get retarded. You know what I mean? That's
I would have been out of that fucking truck window. Like, you would see my feet, like, fucking, he's gone, he's dead.
I like it. Like, it was like, as it like progressed, shit just like, dudes just got weirder. Like, everyone just got weirder and shit.
Mm-hmm. Slowly losing. Fucking
that shit was, it's like sleep deprived, tired, fucking stuck in the truck, like fucking 40 hours, like going across country, blah blah blah.
The good old days, man.
Yeah, man. Fucking so as far as knives go, I know you got a couple of like kind of mainstays. Anything like wild you're working on now that you're like stoked about, or coming up?
I got a few in the works. They're in process right now or whatever, but a couple customs for some people that I'm trying to get done that I think will be cool to drop or whatever. They're nothing like they're one-offs, for stuff that all the style we talked about, it's all there. So I just get to do my thing with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna kind of drop them on some people. It's a kind of a surprise deal here and there, but
the engraving that you do on that stuff, like on the knuckles or on the knives, are you doing that with like by hand, like punching, or you got like a machine or a little chisel?
Dremel, man. I'll take a fucking nothing I do is clear. Like, I'll take a Sharpie, and fucking I'll draw a fucking, or if I have like words, usually I just carve skulls in, but I think I got, here's one of these Dremel styling things works all right, but I use a series of about 3 or 4 different bits, and then just, man, it's like, honestly, I love engraving. I can appreciate a lot of it, but the stuff that I like was kind of like on the bikes I was talking about in the day. It was gnarly, it was deep, and it was fucking like, it was like that. Don't touch that. It was fucking like,
it was gnarly. Right. And it might not have been the most aesthetically like fucking clean or like perfect, like how like tattooing is now. Like some stuff is, the lines are so crisp and everything, but you looked at it and you're like, this is fucking about it. Like this is fucking badass. Like, you know what I mean? Fucking dope.
First time I saw like a derby cover with a certain emblem in it, fucking like deep and fucking gnarly. I was like, and sure enough, with the mental image I had of the dude that would be riding that bike,
pretty much
right. I mean, it came out of that bar and was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, there he is.
Like, and like that dude will fucking. That's a dude that you want to be friends with, and not the opposite end around, man. If you're gonna be in this world. You know what I mean? And I became friends with that guy, but fucking, and that dude's fucking 68 now, or but
probably handling business too, right?
That fucking ain't.
Yeah.
So that style that's always been ingrained in me. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I try to pull off with any carving or engraving I do on knuckles. It's kind of like, CJ Allen, man. He was
awesome, man.
Yeah, he was right. His stuff, a million. It wasn't like it was raw, but it was done well, legible and all of that. But it was CJ's stuff was CJ's shit, and it looked like
it's like you could look at it and be like, oh, that's CJ must have did that one.
Oh yeah, I wish, man. I still kick myself in the ass for he invited me to come out and hang out with him, man. And it was actually a time when it was right before he passed or whatever, and I had decided to go. I remember I was talking with you on the phone is when my carburetor shit the bed somewhere in New Mexico, and I was stuck in that fucking motel.
Oh
but that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But fucking but that was one of the times where I was either going to go east or west, and I just decided to go west that time, And then I was going to do a little east run later on, and I never got to it, and he passed away. Now his engraving, man, like that just to me, that's biker outlaw fucking that's the way it looks in my head, like he's the best example I can use of
100%
a name out there,
Yeah. And all how many fucking decades he had in the world doing that, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Think about how much of his shit's out there, man.
Oh yeah, and you can tell anyone that learned from him too. I mean, you can tell his influence on me, and I didn't go directly. He helped me out online.
Yeah,
he explained a few things. Like he knew that I was savvy with my hands and shit. So he was able to like, hey, if you, and so I don't make it sound like I learned underneath CJ Allen.
No,
he did, but definitely credit where it's due. He helped me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he gave you some pointers.
Exactly. And so, but he, but like I said, like that derby cover I was talking about in the day, and timing covers and different points on, it would be like the corner of a fucking triple tree. You know what I mean? Just that's engraved. Some weird fucking gnarly fucking skull with
yeah.
bolts blasting through its head or some shit. You know what I mean? It was just there because some dude got a little fucking weird and was like, dude, let's tattoo your fucking...
Yeah.
And you can't fake that. And those parts on those kind of bikes to me were just always, that's what I try to pull off, like that. But I try to, I don't know, slap some Madball on it, like our shit,
Yeah. What do you got there? I saw you had knucks that had a little pointy end.
Oh yeah. That's that contact fucking, it's almost like our
a glass breaker in case you're involved in an accident. You need to
get into a window quickly.
Yeah,
or in case you need to open someone's mind fast.
Yeah,
that'll woke you up real quick.
Yeah,
right
dude,
there.
that's nice.
So it's got like a little skull in it, but it's for the
so things.
Pop a top again.
In case you come up on an accident scene and you have to help extract someone from a car.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're doing the Lord's work, you cannot spare on the tools.
No,
for sure.
What else you got? I'm so not used to having video, and if you're listening to this, because I still listen to podcasts, I don't watch them. You can go on YouTube, and the video version will be up on YouTube. And you can see Terry showing some of his wares.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, those are nice, man. Were those custom for somebody,
Yeah.
or you just have
I
those?
think these are just going to Dickie's store. These
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever. I have some. I got like 8 right now. I'm finishing that are for clients
Yeah, yeah,
that I'm finishing out. But yeah, now these yeah, this set, just the bruisers I call them or whatever. Those
yeah,
are just big old fucking knockers, man.
yeah, man.
Turn your hand into a hammer
Hmm.
for when you're a little guy like me and all your friends are bigger. Oh man.
Fuck yeah, man. What do you did you have some knives over there? What do you got for knives over there?
Yeah, I had some Shanks fingers still. These two, that design's always been good to me.
Yeah, I have one of those and I love it. And the thing is, that thing is so fucking sharp. Like you have to watch out when you're.
Oh yeah, no, these things.
That thing sharp as fuck.
Yeah, no, I've gotten. I get myself all the times with these, and I make the damn things. But
Yeah.
man, those are just my rendition of the old, the fucking anyone in the know knows, but the straight sharp finger, man.
Yeah.
That was the from Texas to the Southwest. That's the daily decent and also a toss away that you doesn't break your heart if you got to throw it away.
Yeah.
But that fucking blade shape design is, I mean, what most people need a knife for daily. Those will do. And so I just make them out of way better steel. They're not mass produced. I added my own kind of geometries. You said they're quite a bit sharper than the other ones, but yeah, they're just, but it's that old, once again, that grit, that raw fucking like, what the real motherfuckers carry, but putting our spin on it,
Yeah, man.
And these, this dude, I call this the East Side Special design. And that's all. One of my favorite knife makers, he's passed on now, but is Bob Lovelace. And he made, his grinds were just phenomenal. How he grind, man, I'm really trying to make this work, and I don't know if I am or not.
Oh
if it does justice. Anyway, double-edged boot knife does what it, will do what it needs to do.
I like the handle too. It seems like it got a good texture on the handle.
Yeah, I've started doing these scallop rolls, man.
Yeah. A little more grip.
Yeah, it's something that makes this G10 material look like less robotic too. Yeah, it makes it look like kudu horn or something. But yeah, and that's a big fucking.
That's a serious. That's a Texas barbecue knife.
Yeah, trench pipe. Yeah, that's got a window breaker on the. On the end. How do I get the? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
No, we're getting the hang of it. By the time we do 10 of these, Truth, I'll be able to do this right. So yeah, all kind of military vibe stuff, but
yeah, man,
that's I've kind of fell into a bit of a standard style with some of my models. I'm happy with now. Man, I can just stay on the recipe a little bit. So
yeah. Well, it's good to have like some core models, right? And then like do your get as wacky as the customer wants on the custom shit, but it's good to have some standards. Like it's not a bad thing.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, and I've been wanting to like you said, I got bigger stuff in the works I'm trying to finish, but I'm wanting to do more of that too or whatever, like do some big fucking Bowie knives, some ideas I have, and some I've already started. I just gotta, it's like we were talking the other day, it's that point to where you spend so much time on them to where you rush now and you can fuck yourself fucking. I'm not trying to jack up a year and a half of work just because I'm really trying to get this fucking done or whatever. But if you've gone this far, just fucking. I'm sure you run into it, dude, with the fucking bites all the time, man.
Yeah. Well, the one that's hardest for me is we always got people wanting to make us. They want us to make custom pipes for them, and I'm like, I can make you custom pipes, but I need the bike here. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to guarantee fitment on you giving me some measurements because and I just don't. I'm not math minded. I need to like feel and look and make sure everything fits. Like here, I got to do it by eyesight. I can't sit there with like gears and geometry and fucking, you know what I mean, and all that. Like that ain't my thing, you know. But you know, it's like but with the oil tanks and stuff, or like the forward controls, or just different things we make. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like usually stuff that's beyond our control, like some material material was hard to get for a little bit. That's better now. Or like, you know, if I have to send things out for finish, like whether it's polish or powder coat or something, we don't do that. You know, that takes a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Like, or like someone orders a tank and we have to make it and it takes a day or two to make it. You know what I mean? Like just fitting it in, especially now with all the spring rush. You know what I mean? Like it gets a little more wild, but whatever, man. Like the crux of it is if you order some custom shit, fucking be patient and you'll be way happier when you have your custom thing than your fucking eBay thing.
If someone gets one of your, man, those pyramid stud oil tanks are the shit too, man. I love those.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do a little better. We sell the shit finned ones. The finned ones do well in the domed ones, and but
do they not get how fucking cool that is? Like,
I know.
I want to fucking like I said I just snatched a Evo motor, man, and I definitely want to rap with you about that kind of thing. Like I said, we're gonna not to blow it out, but you know, like a little project between some mutual friends of ours, you know, and shit.
Absolutely.
Fucking, no, I want to.
No, I called the tank, man.
I want your fucking sauce on that for sure, man.
Absolutely. I'll do a special one. We'll figure out how to make it a little bit different and cooler and shit. But yeah, dude, you know, we were talking earlier and we're like, we're gonna talk about today. And he's like, I was like, I got video, show me some knives and shit. But we're already hour and something into this, man. Anything else going on that we haven't hit on?
No, man. There's the like I said, first bike that I've ever done, or I'm doing ground up in a long fucking time. That thing's going on. Trying to stay on top of it in the shop. I'm doing that.
So you've broken ground on that Evo chop, like you?
No, that motor's sitting on a fucking tire in the 2 rooms over right now. But I need.
All right.
Well, it's a thing I'm gonna build it with you know the homie, and so
it'll be announced down the road.
Exactly.
Just a teaser.
Yeah, it's just me, you, and him. No, now, but fucking, I got to get it up there. Yeah, that's the thing. And I spotted a pretty bitchin' roller out on the West Coast. But rollers are kind of they're not a dime a dozen nowadays, but that's fucking
no.
It's the first time I've looked for shit like this in this environment, you know, and things have changed. But I've listened to all you guys for a while. I knew you weren't bullshitting, but yeah, things have fucking changed for sure.
It's weird right now. Like, and I think right now might not be a bad time to scoop shit up because people are starting to realize that this recession shit is real. You know what I mean? And people are starting to get fucking hit in the gut financially. Like, it's like, on basic shit, like I know my electric went up 40-something%. Like fucking, so utilities are up, groceries are up, everything's up. Like people ain't getting that $600 a week anymore, extra fun money. You know what I mean? So I think it's starting to hit people, and unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to see it, for most people, motorcycles, it's a toy. It's not as much of a toy as a boat, but it's in between a boat and a car. Like if they gotta have a motorcycle or a car and they gotta get to work, but they live in fucking Canada or fucking Vermont, then that bike's gonna go before the car.
Gone first.
Yeah. So I think we're seeing some of the beginnings of some of that. So I feel like shovelheads were getting fucking crazy price for a while, and they're starting to come back down. Evos have been staying consistently like all right priced, like, but yeah, we're seeing it. But
yeah, the roller.
Where it's gonna go.
The roller I saw was like it was a Santee, I think, frame.
Yeah,
and it had like an 8-over front end on it, and But Evo motor 80-inch, it's just a matter of heating up make it, that Evo fit with just a little bit of massaging, those tubes or whatever. But that was that whole roller, front end, bars, everything on it was like $1,700, and that was actually not bad. But still, it's fucking West Coasting and shit, and it's something to where it's like I get that. Like it's also I'm trying to look at it as maybe an excuse to go see some of the brothers too. Fucking something like that where I can take a minute
also,
at the road.
Man,
but
you're in fucking Texas. There's gotta be something.
Yeah,
you gotta look out. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of shit, bro. Like
Yeah, I need to call. There's a few people I just need to reach out to down here for sure.
I have a rad Evo project, but it's a little further along than you probably want, because it's got the motory and tranny and all that shit.
Oh shit, okay.
You don't want any of that.
No, I mean I do, but I don't.
Yeah,
I'd love to have it, truth, but
yeah. But yeah, fuck yeah, man. Tell people. So obviously, if people want to jump in and try and do the fast workaround and jump on, and when you do some drops, they can go to dickieknuckles.com, right? Or follow him on Instagram. It's at Dickie Knuckles.
Yes,
right?
sir. Dickie Knuckles at Dickie Knuckles on Instagram, one word, and dickieknuckles.com. It's linked off of my Instagram page and his. It's the only link, and that is the best place if you want to buy what I make. We right now, every week, every other week, right now we have a drop of some medium to small everyday carry knives, and for average size hand knuckle dusters. If you got truth size meat hooks, let me know. I can do that. But those
you can accommodate all sizes on the custom order, right?
Yeah. I don't know what I know. There are 3 sets of knuckles that I've made that are fucking of Sasquatchian hand size or whatever, and yours are. There's you, Jason Keane, and I think Momoa, and those are and one actually 4. One's a dude that's no longer with us, I don't think. But anyway, those are we can. If you need huge ones, just let me know on that, because usually what goes in Dickies, they fit. I make sure they fit my hand they'll fit my hand and Dickie's hand. So
for glove size, right? Like what do you like, medium to extra large on gloves or something?
Man, that's where it's hard, where it's kind of hard because what size fucking glove do you wear?
Double X.
Yeah.
Or sometimes XL. Depends on the glove, you know what I mean? Because they're all over the place.
Then I would say, because Dickie wears XL gloves, or maybe it's large or whatever. Because we got a pretty good. Your average hands range, if it fits on my hand and it fits good on Dickie, you're probably good.
Probably good, yeah.
Right, but so what you just said, if you listen to this, if you wear 2X fucking gloves, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can. Small or a 2X and above, hit them up.
Yeah, well, I have yours and those others. Just like I had a trace of the circumference there, so I know that's at least what I got to stretch to before I start making them nice.
Yeah, because you change the size of the finger holes and everything, right? Because these things fit like a fucking glove, dude. It's fucking wild.
Well, like you said, you've hit some shit and no hand damage,
Oh, I wish this camera was mobile. I'd show you around the shop, like.
Yeah,
it was at Christmas party. I was drunk as fuck. I was throwing fucking quarter sticks of dynamite around and just punching shit. Like, nice. I think we were doing a podcast at the time, and there's a bunch of holes and fucking all kinds of stuff that I can show. I can't show everything, but there's some stuff we could show, right?
Save that for the next DVD drop, man.
Yeah,
the fucking behind
the scenes.
Yeah. When we're all living outside the States,
Yeah. when we're in Costa Rica, the compound. Where can people find you? Like
you can't
social media. Yeah, don't even bother. Knuckles. Let Dickie deal with it.
No, Terry Shanks on Instagram. My full name, Terry Shanks. I think it's Terry Shanks Knives, or it might just be Terry Shanks. I don't know.
I'll put it all in the show notes, because if you're driving and you won't remember it, but you can just click the links. I'll put you and Dickie's stuff in there so people can find you, man. I was stoked having you on. Before we wrap up here, anything else we haven't hit on? Like,
no, man, it's fucking. I appreciate it once again, man, for having me on. I like. It's nice being able to see you this time.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I'm still getting used to this. I gotta get the lighting right. Like, I just noticed that there's like, if I do that, probably a little bit better. You know what I mean? We'll get it. I got a backdrop to do. I just didn't set it up because I was running late today.
I gotta get up there and visit in person too, man. I gotta come sooner than later. I gotta figure that out.
I gotta come down to Fort Worth too, but I gotta wait till spring now, dude. I don't want to deal with. I don't want to be sitting with you in your forge when it's like 100 degrees and humid out.
It just started this week
before you go in.
Yeah, we're in the fucking today. Like, we just started getting in the 90s, and It's about to happen here. Yeah. So yeah, spring for sure, bro. For
So
sure.
what do you do when you're forging knives and that? Do you just get up early and like work early in the morning?
I'm transitioning into graveyards right now, man, where I
Yeah,
work
yeah,
from like sundown, around 8:35, till 3 or 4 in the morning. Is
yeah, yeah,
what I'm about to start doing, because I just can't flip the early switch and then I got other stuff I got to go do during the day and all of
yeah.
that too, like
Sure,
group
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so yeah, right now I'm going to I'm doing the crypt keeper shifts or whatever,
yeah.
at
I
nights.
imagine because it's gonna be so fucking miserable. Like,
It's still fucking. There's no escaping, even at night. It's in
yeah,
the fuck. If that forge is on,
yeah. Forget it. Wild,
nah,
wild shit,
but
man.
it is what it is, though.
Yeah, man. All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna shut this recording off, but I'm not gonna. I'm not hanging
Gotcha.
up.